Well, hello, I am talking with Katie Hogrefe, who is a campus recruiter with AllianceBernstein. Katie, I know you're based out of Nashville, and so welcome to our podcast, and thanks for chatting with us today.
Thanks so much for having me.
Just tell us just a little bit about who AllianceBernstein is as a company and what all you are into.
Yes, so we are a global asset management firm, meaning we manage investments and other asset allocations on behalf of our clients. Our clientele includes the retail channels, institutions, as well as our private wealth management group does one-on-one wealth management for our individuals and trusts and funds. We are, as I mentioned, a global firm, meaning that we have locations all across the US, as well as a large presence over in Europe and some of those overseas locations. We have about 640 billion assets under management as of last June, so kind of quickly growing within the space with only around 4,000 employees. So we relocated our headquarters down to Nashville in 2018 and just opened our new building in May of 2022.
Okay, outstanding. I do think there is a little bit of a trend in some financial services firms moving into Nashville. It's a huge opportunity for us as UT people, right? As we start developing these relationships. So I know that one of your primary focuses personally is at the internship level, and so I know that you're visiting college campuses, and you're sort of overseeing the recruitment of college students, particularly into internship roles. So, and that's perfect because the audience of this podcast is largely undergraduate, sophomores and juniors, finance major types. And so, can you talk a little bit about what that internship program actually is, and what you're looking for and what folks are doing?
Absolutely. So our summer intern program is for juniors in between their junior and senior year. And we offer around 100 positions across the nation, with that being in a number of our businesses. So I like to say we're a full service asset management firm, meaning everything we do is done in-house, from the research to our corporate functions to our technology and operations teams even. So we have positions in a number of different of those areas in New York, Nashville, and then our private wealth management group in LA, San Francisco, Chicago, Houston, DC, Boston, Philadelphia, as well as New York and Nashville. And then we also offer our private credit investors team in Austin. So we're going to be looking for students that, depending on the role, have a various number of qualifications depending on whatever technical skills are needed. All those would be listed in our job descriptions, but pretty generally, we're looking for students that are interested in the asset management industry, whether you've been exposed to it or not, just that have a general interest in the industry, as well as just really a thirst for knowledge. I think a lot of our job descriptions kind of emphasize on intellectual curiosity. It's something you find even with our senior employees here at AB. Everyone wants to just keep learning more, and besides learning more themselves, really teach our entry level or emerging talent positions. They're so excited to bring them in and just teach them throughout the summer.
So in terms of geography, it's clearly it's vast. So for our students, for our UT students, then they through this program, they personally would have the potential to land in any of these locations. Is that correct?
The majority of our positions are in either New York or Nashville, but okay. I mean, a UT student has the potential to go anywhere they're interested in.
So in terms of like a day in the life type thing, and I know this is a little bit of a loaded question because each one of these positions is very much unique, but can you say anything at all about kind of a typical day in the life of one of these intern jobs?
Yeah, absolutely. I think regardless of the position, our intern's day is kind of put into 3 separate buckets. So the first bucket would be the actual job that you've been hired, or internship that you've been hired to partake in. So you'll be given a summer project. Our summer projects are projects that have really direct impact on our firm. I can say Our interns just wrapped up their last projects, and I think every single team was like, wow, you really made an impact and made our lives easier through some sort of process change or database change that our interns have implemented. So that's going to be the bulk of a day, is working with your team, learning the systems, and kind of figuring out your project and getting those deliverables. The second part is actually our kind of broader intern programming. So throughout the summer, our campus recruiting team offers a variety of different panels, soft and hard skills demonstrations, sessions and learnings and developments for our interns throughout the summer, really helping to make sure that they're developing in their careers throughout the summer, as well as, learning the skills that they'll be doing from their project. And then I think the third part of it is the day-to-day shadowing of what the full-time associate role would look like in that position. The majority of our roles are a pipeline into a full-time offer, at the end of the summer if everything goes well. So we want to make sure our interns get the chance to really see what that's going to look like and make sure that that really is what you want to be doing.
In some sense, this is the internship is an extended interview for a full-time job for 3-ish months in one of these internship program or one of these intern jobs. And so is it typical that you all go ahead and make the offers like right at the end of the internship for the start a year out? Is that your timetable?
We do it like the week right after the internship. So,
Okay.
you wrap up your internship, you unfortunately leave us. It's that sad, like last day of school feeling. And then that week following is when we extend our full-time offers.
Great. And so I know we've had a few students this past year that I'm not sure if they're quite done yet, but they were at AllianceBernstein. I've heard through the grapevine that they've had some pretty good experiences there. I haven't gotten a chance to talk with them yet, but this is exciting. There's already UT students that are moving in that direction. So is it common then for an intern to have a job in a certain area or a certain team, and then they transition into full-time work with that same team, or do you see a lot of switching around?
We see a little bit of both. I think one of the really great things that our team does and cool things about our firm is that we do have an emphasis on internal mobility, right? So like the job I had right out of college is definitely not what I'm doing now. And we don't expect everyone to stay on that path. So I think having an internship where you get the exposure to so many different parts of our business all within the same firm allows you to really figure out what you want to do. And we encourage our interns that if you spent the summer doing one thing and realized you wanted to be in a client-facing role instead, we put you through an abbreviated interview process and you have the opportunity to get a full-time role with a team that's more aligned to what you ultimately want your career to look like.
So for the I want to back up just a little bit in the day in the life, and you were talking about some of the programming that is specific for this group of interns. And so if I am one of your interns next summer, how many other people like me should I expect to interact with on a regular basis?
When you say like you, do you mean like
in the same type of role? Other interns, right, playing the same role for the firm.
I think our interns do a really good job of not just connecting with each other within their own office locations, but really connecting nationally with the rest of our interns to learn a little bit about peer-to-peer, what it is that you're doing, who are you networking with that I should also be meeting.
So so they're not just sort of stuck, right? It's truly like a group thing, or maybe a cohort.
Yes, I think a cohort is really what they are.
Got it. So let's talk logistics for a minute. So I know that you are about to be actively recruiting on various campuses for the summer of 2023. And so that's going to start here in the fall. And so for our UT students, what kind of timeline, or what kind of what dates should they have in mind to look for to get in on this?
Applications are going to open around Labor Day. So definitely by the end of that first week of September, we'll have all of our intern positions posted. We don't actually have a specific application deadline. We review resumes sort of as they come in.
Okay.
So I would encourage students to apply sooner rather than later. We'll go through the kind of the phone screens and first round interviews throughout the month of September with early October timeframe, and then our super days typically take place in October, maybe into early November, and we try to have all of our roles filled by December, but we'll obviously be recruiting in the spring for any roles that are still open. Our applications will close that first week of April.
Once these things open, we can connect, and I'll get all the information from you so I can post it for our students. I know that Dr. Daves has a website for our UT students, so they can see all these internship opportunities. So we'll be sure to get that information out to our students so they will know exactly where to go to apply. But in terms of on-campus stuff, is that what is the Super Day the on-campus event, or is that an on-location event?
On location / virtual.
Okay.
Just kind of depending on logistics of where students are located and where the team members are.
Okay.
Obviously, if you're interviewing for a position in LA, we'll probably do that over Zoom versus flying you out to the office. But
okay,
our on-campus interviews are what we consider to be our first round interviews.
On campus. And that's the one that's going to be for UT. It's going to be around is that the one you said was early October?
Late September, early October. It'll be around the time frame of the career fair, which I believe is September 28th.
I think some of the primary audience then of this video will be my current students. So they'll be in their first semester in the business school. So they'll likely be first semester juniors taking their introductory finance class. And so they're going to be learning time value of money, market stuff, some valuation stuff, some capital budgeting stuff, some risk and return stuff. So is that kind of the type of person you're looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, really what we're going to be looking for are students that have a general finance knowledge, but really just as I mentioned earlier, a want to learn more.
Okay.
We have an extensive training program that we're able to offer both our interns and our new grad hires. We really believe that we can teach some of the finance stuff. What we can't teach is the drive and the want to really have that knowledge and to be in this industry.
Yeah, yeah. Just the benefits of being a curious individual will those are huge, and
Yes.
I'm glad that you said that, because I like to always pound that into my students as well. I mean, I think if you're intellectually curious, you want to learn, you want to grow, you want to do something, that opens doors, that opens huge doors. So all right, well Katie, thank you so much for your time, and I think I certainly look forward to a nice ongoing relationship with you and the firm, and hopefully we can get a nice pipeline of students coming in through internships into very long time employees.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me.